Have you ever wondered what the most important invention in human history is? Is it the wheel? The internet. What if I told you it was something far more fundamental, something we often take for granted? It's the simple act of planting a seed. The birth of agriculture wasn't just a discovery. It was the moment humanity shifted from being passive collectors of food to active creators. This single transformation redefined everything. Power, stability, and the very idea of progress. Before this, we were at the mercy of the earth. After, we began to shape it to our will. Imagine a life dictated entirely by chance. That was the reality for our hunter-gatherer ancestors. Their days were spent searching for food, never knowing where their next meal would come from. Life was a constant cycle of movement, following animal migrations and the seasonal availability of plants. Survival was fragile, dependent on the whims of nature. This nomadic existence, while resourceful, had its limits. It prevented the growth of large communities, the accumulation of knowledge, and the development of complex societies. Life was about enduring the present, with little capacity to plan for the future. Then, something extraordinary happened. Through generations of keen observation, our ancestors noticed a pattern. They saw that seeds dropped on the ground would eventually sprout into new plants. This simple realization was a spark of genius. It led to the profound understanding that they didn't just have to find food, they could create it. The first intentional cultivation of wild grains was a monumental experiment. Early humans began to test different soils, manage water, and consciously choose where to plant. This wasn't just gardening, it was the dawn of a new relationship with the planet. This shift marks one of the most significant periods in our history. The Neolithic Revolution. It was a gradual but radical transition from foraging to farming, from chasing food to producing it. This revolution didn't happen overnight or in one place. It sparked independently across the globe. Around 10,000 BC, in the Fertile Crescent of the Middle East, people began cultivating wheat and barley. Thousands of miles away, along the Yangtze and Yellow rivers in China, rice farming emerged. In the Nile Valley of Egypt and across Mesoamerica, similar revolutions took root. It was as if humanity, in different corners of the world, collectively decided it was time to settle down. With this new commitment to the land came the need for new techniques. The first farmers were brilliant innovators. They learned to clear forests to create fields and prepare the soil for planting. They developed early forms of irrigation, digging channels to bring water from rivers to their crops, breaking their dependence on rainfall. They discovered that rotating different crops or letting fields lie fallow could restore the soil's fertility. Simple but effective tools were invented. Stone sickles for harvesting, grinding stones for processing grain, and digging sticks for planting. Each innovation made farming more efficient and reliable. At the same time, humans began to actively shape the evolution of plants themselves. They weren't just planting wild seeds, they were selecting the best ones. They chose plants that produced larger grains, were easier to harvest, or were more resistant to drought. This process, known as domestication, transformed wild grasses into the staple crops. We know today wheat, barley, rice, and maize. These crops became the foundation of diets worldwide, providing a dense and storable source of calories that could sustain growing populations. In essence, we were genetically engineering our food supply long before we understood genetics. The impact of this reliable food source was immediate and profound. For the first time, Human populations could grow without being checked by the scarcity of wild food. Agriculture created something previously unimaginable: a surplus. People could produce more food than they needed for their immediate survival. This surplus was the catalyst for the birth of permanent settlements. Why wander when everything you need is right here? Small, nomadic bands gave way to villages, and eventually, towns. With permanent settlement came a new concept: ownership. Land became a valuable asset, something to be claimed, defended, and passed down through generations. The food surplus didn't just lead to more people. It led to different kinds of people. When not everyone had to be a farmer, new roles could emerge. This was the beginning of the division of labor. Some people became tool makers, others potters, weavers, or builders. Specialized skills led to trade, as one village exchanged its surplus grain for the finely crafted pottery of another. This interaction formed the basis of an early economy. With growing communities and resources came the need for organization and leadership. Social hierarchies began to form, with chiefs or elders managing the surplus, resolving disputes, and organizing large-scale projects like irrigation systems. Our spiritual and cultural lives were also transformed. Agriculture tied human existence directly to the cycles of nature: planting in spring, growing in summer, harvesting in fall. This connection fostered new forms of worship centered on the earth, the sun, and the rain. Fertility gods and harvest goddesses became central figures in many belief systems. Seasonal festivals and rituals were created to ensure a bountiful harvest and to celebrate its success. To track these cycles, early farmers developed the first calendars, marking the passage of time by observing the sun, moon, and stars. This wasn't just about farming, it was about understanding our place in the cosmos. However, this new power over nature came with consequences. Farming permanently reshaped landscapes. Forests were cleared for fields, altering ecosystems forever. Early farming techniques sometimes led to soil exhaustion and erosion, forcing communities to move and clear new land. The concentration of people and livestock in one place also created new challenges related to waste and disease. The environmental impact of agriculture, both positive and negative, began the moment the first seed was planted and continues to be a major force shaping our planet today. Ultimately, agriculture was the bedrock upon which all complex civilizations were built. The food surplus allowed for the rise of cities, centers of population, and culture. It supported a class of people: priests, rulers, soldiers, and scribes who did not farm. This social complexity required new systems of organization: laws, governments, and organized religion. The need to record surplus grain, trade transactions, and laws spurred the development of written language. From a tiny seed grew the entire apparatus of civilization, from politics and economics to art and science. So, when we look back, the invention of farming was more than just a new way to get food. It was the first time humanity truly took control of its environment. It was a pivot from pure survival instinct to long-term, strategic planning. It was the moment we stopped simply obeying the rules of nature and started writing our own. This single revolution laid the foundation for the world we live in today, proving that sometimes the most powerful changes begin with the smallest of actions. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into our past, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.